What's up, it's you for today's video with a full Bellsprout evolution team. So we got Bellsprout, Weepinbell, and Victreebel. I'll be using these three and the shiny versions to make up a full team of 6. Now, this evolution line doesn't have many abilities at all. We've only got Chlorophyll and Gluttony to work with, so that's going to keep things pretty simple. Chlorophyll's really good because these Pokemon aren't the fastest, and you can make them very, very fast with the sun. If you want to check me out on Twitch, people, this is where I do all my live stream, Teens, Pokemon sweeps, all that sort of stuff. Let's get into both of today's battles. The first battle, of course, these are on BDSP as well, so this is our BDSP video for the week. This is a battle against Arts, and we've got a Shedinja lead. I've got my Bellsprout as lead, and this Bellsprout, especially this lead Bellsprout, this popped off in a lot of the battles. So I've got a physical Bellsprout, and this is going to be running Sunny Day, Power Whip, Poison Jab, and Knockoff. Now, this is going to be having the EV spread as Max Speed, and I've got Adamant Nature. I sort of didn't go with Jolly, I just want that extra base power. Sometimes I carry a status move on it, but sometimes I wouldn't, so I'd sort of swap it around if I had a way to boost his attack, so I'd probably give it Jolly then. Now, Shedinja's going to go for a Fan of Force, and it's going to be hitting my little Bellsprout there, but I've got Sash as the item, because Bellsprout's not very bulky at all, and this way I'll actually be allowed to go for a knockoff on the Shedinja. Now, I did have a feeling that I had Focus Sash, and of course, it is going to have Focus Sash, but that's okay. I do have other ways of actually taking the Shedinja out. Helps with grass Pokemon because most of the time you've always got like status. So the Shedinja's going to go for a Shadow Sneaky, and that's going to be enough to take out the Bellsprout. Now, people, if you do enjoy the videos and it takes a second, please drop a like on there. Really helps me out, and of course helps you out too, because that means you'll see all the videos in your subscriptions feed. So the next Pokemon here we got is the Weepinbell. This is a Ingrain, Poison Powder, Wrap, and Giga Drain set. This set is all based around actually poisoning the opponent and trap him in. Now, in BDSP, you actually don't get toxic on these Pokemon. There's so many cut moves and, dumbed down sort of moveset. So the only way you can poison the opponent is by Poison Powder. Now, Poison Powder is kind of shaky in accuracy too. So Shedinja's going to go for a Grudge Heal. Grudge is a really, really cool move. The thing about it though, since I used a status move like Poison Powder, it's going to take the Shedinja out, sure, but it's not going to get rid of all the PP of my moves. Say if let's say for a second I went Knockoff, right, on Shedinja, and used Grudge beforehand, that would actually deplete all the PP of the Knockoff move. But since I took it out with a status move, that wasn't the case. But a really cool move with Grudge. Next Pokemon we got here is going to be the Grumpig too. Also, my throat's feeling a little bit funny at the moment, so if my narration sounds just a little bit different, that's why. I think it might have just, maybe something went down the wrong way I was eating before, or hopefully I don't have a cold or anything like that, but it sounds a bit funny. So our next Pokemon is the Grumpig. I'll get back to this. I've got a Weepinbell here, and it's going to be using probably Poison Powder against this. Now, this Pokemon is a Psychic type, and it's going to be super effective against a lot of my team, so I really want to see if I can get that Poison Powder going. So this is going to be a interesting set. It's pretty scummy. It's going to be paralyzing me with the Thunder Wave, and then it's going to be using Zen Headbutt. Zen Headbutt is super effective, and it also has a chance of flinching. Unfortunately, Poison Powder is going to miss, and I've got the EV spread on this set. Let me just check this out. I've got max health and I've got max defense. So, grass types work very well as defensive walls compared to special defense, in my opinion. So that's how we're going to be running the Weepinbell. Now, Weepinbell's is going to have this Chlorophyll. Actually, sorry, I think this, this did have Chlorophyll because I have the leftover as the item. If I was running a Berry or something like that, I'd be running Gluttony. But to be fair, most of these I ran with Chlorophyll because it was just better, and the move options that I had for BDSP, it sort of was good for Chlorophyll, but not that great for Gluttony. So I finally get a Poison Powder on the Grumpig, but it's a little bit too late because I've lost almost all of my health here. So I know that I'm going to faint to, another Zen Headbutt. So here goes a little bit of round of damage there for the Poison Powder. I would have had half its health gone already. In fact, I would have already had Wrap going, and then I could have had Giga Drain going. It could have been way better. I just got a lot of bad luck there at the start, but that's how it is sometimes. So that's going to be the end of Weepinbell. So that's a third of my team down already. Next Pokemon I'm thinking about bringing in here is either going to be one of my Victreebel, or I can bring in one of my Bellsprouts. Yeah, let's go into Bellsprout. Now, this is kind of similar to the other Bellsprout, except it's going to be a fully special set instead of a physical set as I run before. So we've got Sunny Day, Sleep Powder, Solar Beam, and Sludge Beam. Sludge Bomb, not Sludge Beam. Man, Sludge Beam's actually a pretty good move. That'd be like Ice Beam, and it'd be a Poison type move. That's actually really cool. Sludge Beam. That's nice. It'd be a special move, and, it'd be like Ice Beam. Same base power, and it's got the same, obviously Ice Beam is that chance to freeze, so same chance to poison. What do you think of the move? What do you think of that move? I think that'd be really, really cool. Sludge Beam. Kind of cool, like maybe, poison type Pokemon could learn and stuff like that, like, I don't know, some Viper and things like that. So anyway, back to the battle there, just musing on a cool idea. We got the Grumpig having a berry, and it's going to be a Lychee Berry, which is bad, because that's going to make this thing hit very, very hard, or much, much harder. And Grumpig's attack isn't the greatest in the world. So it's going to be fainting very, very soon here. I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb, because I want to take out this Grumpig. And Grumpig is going to go for a rest here. It's like, man, oh man, oh man. Now, I did put some pretty interesting music in the background of these battles too. I wonder if you can guess what that is, if you can actually hear the music and stuff, right? I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a little clue. It's from a game. And it's actually a game I really, really like. And I actually have done a theme tale on this before, but the theme team is very, very old. I think it was in the very, very first, I want to say 50 theme teams that I ever did, but I won't do any more there. I'll see if anyone can actually get it. Both the songs are from the same game as well. So anyway, back to the battle here. Bellsprout's going to hang on 1 health there. It's got a Focus Ash. Now I can go for the Sludge Bomb. That's doing pretty good damage to the Grumpig. Grumpig's got nice base special too. So I was actually thinking about running a Bellsprout with Growth, but the thing about Growth is you have to sort of set the sun up. So, Growth is very, very good under the sun, but if I went for Sunny Day and Growth, then I'd only have like 2 move opportunities there to use. So, and this has got Sleep Power as well, which is actually quite handy. So I decided to not use a Growth set. I nearly said a gross set there. So Grumpig is going to be waking up here. It's going to go for a Zen hit, but that is going to be the end of Bellsprout. So I was having like a lot of troubles with this Grumpig, but I guess the good thing is it's now on a lower amount of health because Bellsprout repeatedly used Sludge Bomb it over and over again. So bringing in the Weepinbell, this is a growth set with Sunny Day. So I've got Growth, Sunny Day, Sludge Bomb, and Bullet Seed. It's actually a mixed set, which is pretty cool. Let me explain what this is. So I want to run Chlorophyll on this, and I ran this as max attack and max speed. And I'm actually just going to use Growth. So when you got the Sunny Day up there, you can go for Growth, and it'll boost the attack and the special attack by 2 stages, which is actually really, really strong. So we got the Grumpig going down there, and we got the Lotad coming here. So it's got, the Lombre. Sorry, I'm getting my little Lilies mixed up there. And it's, man, I was actually really, really surprised it lived that. So now it's going to go for a Swagger, and Swagger is going to give me a boost in attack. It's like, this is actually really, really good, because if I'm actually able to use Bullet Seed, it's going to be really, really strong, so I got a +2. And I thought, Growth's pretty cool at making, like, maybe a Pokemon that you think is a special attacker or a physical attacker. It actually makes it a mix attacker. It's pretty, pretty powerful. So going for Bullet Seed there, I don't hit myself with Confusion, which is very good. And that is going to be the end of the Lombre, which is very, very nice. Next Pokemon to come out is going to be the Inferno. It's like, uh-oh, this is bad. So in the team preview, I see the Inferno. I was like, what can I actually do with this? This was also only 4 Pokemon too on their team. Now, I was thinking about this for a bit. I just need to take this out as soon as possible, but it sort of depends what the moveset's going to be. Now, the Inferno's going to go for a Substitute. I was like, that's interesting. I wonder what sort of set they're going to be running behind. I was like, a Substitute? Do they have a Fire-type move? This is going to be interesting. I assume they've got a Fighting-type move and a Substitute. I've already seen that. So that leaves maybe a Fire-type move or something like that. I wasn't really sure. Then they went for a Power Punch. Like, okay, so Sub and Power Punch. So the Inferno is going to be boosting behind there. At first, I thought they may be trying to run something like, like a sub punch set with focus punch. Really, really cool move. So I finally get around that confusion, and I'm able actually to break the substitute on the Inferno, which is good because I don't want to leave this behind a substitute setting up the power-up punches over and over again because, it's got a very good attack. It's got good speed. It's going to be very, very difficult to outspeed this too. Like I'd have to set up a Sunny Day or something like that. So that is going to be the end of my Weepinbell, and Infernape is going to get another boost in attack, which is very, very bad. Now, we're going to go into Victreebel here. I haven't used my Victreebels yet. This one is a speedy set. So we got Jolly Nature, Max Speed, and Max Attack. I've got Poison Jab, Leech Life, Knockoff, and Leaf Blade. I've got the item as Scope Lens, trying to get that, extra, level of critical hit chance there, stacking with the Leaf Blade, of course. and you know, it works pretty well. The thing about this is it kept setting up the substitute, so it sort of made me think that I think this Infernape is going to try and get a pinch berry or item, you know, something like that. I wasn't really sure at this point, but I had a feeling it might be a pinch berry. Now, Infernape has got naturally good speed, and it's got naturally good special attack, and it's got good attack too. So I was sort of curious what move they were going to do, because obviously if they did have a fire move, they would have used it already. So go for Poison Jab here, and that is obviously going to break the sub. And now we're going to see what the Infernape is actually going to have here, you know, to try and take me out. So I've got 2 Victreebels left. I'm hoping I can get that victory. And now it's going to get one more substitute up. I think it's just got like a little bit of health there. And now it's item revealed. It's going to have a Sally Bear. It's like, wow. I didn't expect it to have Sally Bear. I thought it might be something different. Yeah, as I said, it's already got really, really good speed. So going for the Poison Jab again on the Infernape's last substitute, which is going to fade it. And I know that it's going to attack this turn. It has to attack this turn. So any of my moves are going to take it out, but I know the Victreebel will get outsped. It's whether or not I can live this next attack. That's what the question was going to be here. So it's going to have Acrobatics. I was like, oh, that's not good. So if you cast your mind back, they already got +2 in attack. And since I used up the Celebrate, which was the item, Acrobatics is going to get a double base power, which is really, really bad because my entire team was weak to it. So my next Victreebel, it couldn't even do anything. It just gets wiped in one shot, but that will be back in the second battle, what we're coming up to. Thank you for the battle arts. Inferno, which is way too much for my team there. But a pretty interesting set there with the sub, Power Punch, and Acrobatics. Let's get on to battle number 2 here. This one is against Super Bowser. Now, quickly, I'm just going to tell you what I've got planned for the rest of the week. So, I've got about 3 Pokemon sweeps I have to put up there. I got some pretty cool live sweeps. I'll be putting them up throughout the rest of the week too. And I think I have one more Evoline team that I've been focusing on, and maybe something else too. So, some good content coming your way for sure. So, first Pokemon is going to be Bavara. It's going to go for a headbutt. It seems to be like a really scummy flinching set. Now, thank goodness I didn't get flinched there, and I'm able to get up the Sunny Day. So, I knew it straight away because Bibaro outsped me. So I was like, okay, well, the only way to outspeed is for it to have a Choice Scarf. So now it's locked in the headbutt. I know that. So I'm like, well, let's go for Power Whip. I'm not going to take it out, but it should do at least like half to 3/4 damage. Bibaro goes down in one shot. I was like, holy smokes, that was definitely a critical hit. So a really excellent start to the battle there. And, Bellsprout still got 3 turns of sun to go. Next Pokemon to come in is going to be Eradicate. Now, Eradicate does have a little bit of priority about it. Obviously, I'm aware of this at this point. Like, do I swap out or do I just take the risk, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the risk. It's going to go for Sucker Punch. So that's going to be the end of Bellsprout. Unfortunately, I did sustain a little bit of damage from Bavaro before. Well, a lot of damage, not a little bit. So now next Pokemon I'm going to bring in is going to be my Bellsprout. I was like, well, Bellsprout number 1 did pretty good. Let's go into Bellsprout number 2. So since the sun's already up, I don't need to bother taking a hit or anything like that. And I went for Sleep Powder. So I thought, well, if the Eradicate goes for Sucker Punch, it'll fail against a status move being Sleep Powder. So I'll be able to get around that. Eradicate did not go for Sucker Punch, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to get actually put to sleep, which is great. Now I can start to implement my strategy. So we've got like, what, 1 turn of sun left. So I was like, well, I can either go for Solar Beam here and just take the Eradicate out the next turn, or put it to sleep the next turn. Not take it out. So go for Solar Beam here on my very, very last turn of the start. Now, the Solar Beam damage that Bellsprout did to Eradicate was really good. It almost took it out late. This line, this is evolution line, the Bellsprout to Victreebel, they've got good special attack, and they've got good attack as well. So a nice offensive Pokemon there, and a good variety of moves to actually get for a Grass-type Pokemon, Grass-type Pokemon always have that. So Eradicate's going to remain asleep, which is actually excellent because I can set that Sunny Day up again. Now, I thought I might be inclined to go for a Sucker Punch again. So I was thinking, maybe I should just go for Sleep Powder. That could, work, right? Eradicate wakes up and gets a Sucker Punch off there. I thought that I should go for Sleep Powder, but once again, I took the risk and went for Sludge Bomb, and that's the end of Eradicate. So it's not a bad, sort of payoff there. I did lose my Focus Ash, but, it sort of moves. So I can easily put the next Pokemon to sleep if I need to. In comes the Luxray. It's not going to have Intimidate, so maybe it's like Rivalry or something like that, and pretty cool ability. I've done a Rivalry ability Pokemon team. Now, I've got a couple of interesting, I was going through the other day on some of the ability Pokemon teams I've done. I've got a really, really cool one I might be able to put up this week, but if not, it'll be next week. And it's going to be doubles too. So Luxray comes in and uses Flash. I was like, Flash is a really, really risky move to use. So they must be trying to set some sort of strategy up here, relying on me to miss my moves. But if I hit my moves, that's going to be the end of the Lux Ray. So a Solar Beam is going to land here on the Lux Ray, and this is definitely going to be able to take it out. Like, Solar Beam's like really, really powerful, right? And already obviously sustained earlier damage. So bye-bye Lux Ray. So I've got no idea what sort of set there was. Maybe it had something like Thunder Wave and that combination. That would have been like really, really scummy. Next Pokemon is Dragonite. Now this is where things start to go really bad, because this Dragonite was hitting hard and pretty fast too. So I'm gonna outspeed the Dragonite, and I went for Sludge Bomb because I like, well, if I can get a poison here, that'd be really, really good. Dragonite's going to go for Outrage, and that's the end of Bellsprout. And I'm thinking to myself, well, Outrage is going to take out. It could take out a lot of my team, you know what I mean? So next Pokemon is going to be the Weepinbell, and Weepinbell is going to be the defensive one. So like, I know that I can leave one Outrage. I know that I can. Will I live it well? Probably not, but if I can get a Poison Powder off on Dragonite, that'll be extremely beneficial, as we get into the latter parts of the battle. That Toxic may be able to put it to, down a quarter health or a half health, putting it in like an easier KO range. Because Dragonite can be very, quite bulky if you don't have like, especially an Ice Move, lying around. So Weepinbell is around half health right now. I was actually hoping that Dragonite would get confused by Outrage, because, that's obviously the trade-off of using like, really, really powerful moves like that. Now, Dragonite's going to go for Outrage on my Weepinbell, and that's going to take it out. So now that suddenly half my team's gone, it's like, uh-oh. This is not very good. So now the good thing about this is the Dragonite is going to get confused. Whether or not it's going to hit itself with confusion is definitely going to be another thing. So going into my more offensive Weepinbell here, this is the Chlorophyll set. Now I've got Sludge Bomb and I've got Bullet Seed. Well, Bullet Seed is going to do nothing. I could set the Sun Eater up. I was like, nah, the more pressing matter at this stage is to go for Sludge Bomb and try and get a poison on it. So here it comes on the Dragonite. Pretty good damage there, I guess, and poison. So I was like, okay, that's excellent. That's really, really good. Excuse me, I thought I had something in my throat then, so this little polytoad coming up there. So anyway, our Dragonite's going to go for a Hurricane. It's a mix set, and that's going to take my Weepinbell out. I was like, man, that really, really sucks. So completely mixed Dragonite. Dragonite's a great Pokemon, very versatile. It can run, physical sets, your special sets, mix set, bulky support. Like, it can do so many things, Next Pokemon is Victreebel. This is a Giga Drain Sludge Bomb Spit Up Stockpile set. This is actually pretty cool. So what I was thinking about this is, since it's on like using Outrage, like, let's go for Stockpile and see if I can boost it up. I'm actually confident I can live one. Whether or not I'll be able to live more is another thing. Unfortunately, Dragonite snapped out, and instead of using Hurricane or Outrage, it used Hyper Beam. It's like, okay, even though it's going to do a little bit of damage to me, it's good, because now the Dragonite is actually going to faint to the Toxic, and what I can do after using Hype Beam is I can actually go for another Stockpile. That'd be really, really good. So go for Stockpile number 2 there. See, my voice is a little bit croaky, It's very, very croaky. I wish there was a frog Pokemon on the field when, that actually happened. Trying to think the last time I did a frog Pokemon team. I think I've done 2 frog Pokemon teams now, speaking of the animal ones. So back to the battle. I'm just going off a little tangent thinking about stuff there. I could go for Stockpile. That'd be 3 Stockpiles, and that is the max amount of Stockpiles you can do. And then you either, keep the bulk, or you either go for Spit Up or Swallow. You want to make healing yourself a big thing, or you want to do like a big amount of damage with with the Victreebel. Now, Victreebel's got a lot of special attack too, so I was hoping I could get this going. So now I'm going to get the berry. This is a Gluttony set too. The Gluttony set is Potato Berry, so just further advancing my special attack by 1 stage, and Dragonite is going to faint. Now, the EV spread on this was Timid Nature, max speed, and max special attack, which is going to be really, really good. Now, next Pokemon to come out is going to be Zangoose. Like, okay, well, Zangoose will get hit very, very hard by Sludge Bomb. Or I could just use Spit Up, because I'm at my highest amount of stockpiles. Like, you know what? Let's go for Spit Up. Zangoose is going to go for a Fainty, or a Fainty, however you say it, and that's going to do nothing. That's going to do nothing to Victreebel. I've got 3, I've got 3 of the attacks. Then I hit myself with confusion, like, no, that was like my only chance to, do some damage to Zangoose. So Zangoose is going to go for another Fainty on my Victreebel, but since I had so much bulk up there, I managed to live on 2 health, snap out of confusion, and get the Spit Up off. And man, Zangoose just gets like laid out like a lounge room rug, you know what I'm saying? I nearly said a Range Rover Range Rover rug, but they're a little bit smaller than the lounge room rug. Next Pokemon is going to be the Flygon here. Oh, that's the last Pokemon too. So Flygon, I'm probably not going to do much too with Spit Up, considering I lost all my stockpiles. I can go for Sludge Bomb and just do some minimum damage to it. So that was pretty good. Almost got half health with not very effective attack. It's going to go for the Earthquake and take out my Victreebel. So I've got another Venusaur. Venusaur Flytrap, or Venus Flytrap left. Venusaur Flytrap. That's going to be pretty cool. They can have Victreebel and then put Venusaur inside of its mouth. So actually, when you look at Victreebel, the shiny, it actually looks like a pickle. If you take away the 2 leaves on the side and the blue lip of the maybe that could be like the little, I guess they've got leaves on them. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to go for a Leaf Blade and outspeed the Flygon, and that is another Flygon. And that is the Bellsprout Evolution team. Hope you really enjoyed this video. I'll catch you tomorrow for some more content. Peace out, people.